What's up, AFTERBUZZers? We are back with a brand new episode of BET's Chasing Destiny, Episode 7, Measured Twice, Cut Once. Tune in.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yes, Kelly.
Sing, Kelly.
I love
Get it, Kelly. This is the new one for the summer.
It is. This is her new summer smash. What is it?
Give me love.
Give me love.
That's what everybody wants,
Give
right?
me
A little
love,
bit of love,
Kelly.
Just a little bit.
All right, so listen, y'all. We are back with a brand new episode of Chasing Destiny on AFTERBUZZ TV, Episode 7. 7, y'all. So I'm your host, DJ Richie Scott. We got the beautiful McCall covering for Jesse. And our girl Naina will not be back for the rest of the season, but y'all show her some love. Shout her out on Twitter and Instagram and all that. And who else do we have in the studio today? We have the amazing, one of my favorites. We have Ash in the house. Welcome,
Hola.
Ash.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
We are so excited to have you here. So listen, let's get right into the dirt.
Right? Because look, you
Oh,
you
God.
have been on this show, so you know all the ins and outs. So when you start getting real comfortable, I'm gonna slip in a question and see if I catch you slipping.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard to do.
So look, tell us about your experience on the show. Like, what was it like when you got that initial call to come back for the show? How were you feeling?
Well, it was Christmas Eve, so I was really shocked that I was one of the 15. I mean, you're talking about hundreds of talented women who auditioned,
Yeah.
and you don't know if you're gonna get picked. You know, I had a little mess up in my audition on one of the songs I did, so I just kind of was like, hey, hopefully I'll get the call. But I was so excited when I got that email.
So was that the greatest Christmas present you've ever had?
It was.
Okay,
yes,
like-
Right.
yes.
That's crazy. So how many songs did you guys have to sing?
It just depended. I had the opportunity to sing too.
Okay,
But it was
okay.
a small list of songs we could pick from.
Okay.
So I did the Anita Baker song that I messed up on that y'all saw. And then I sang an original song.
Okay.
So
So tell us about, how did your family react when all of this went down? Like, were they all supportive? Like, did they know about the whole process? Like, what happened?
yeah, I let them know it was a long process. Like,
Okay.
you know, you have to go through casting, and, you know, the alert was kind of out that she was trying to form a group and auditions were going on. So, yeah, I just let them know, hey, I sent my information in. Hey, I got a call back to go to the in-person audition. Hey, I got the email that I made the top 15. Oh, my God. So my family was really supportive. They know this is what I love to do.
So how long before somebody asked you for $20?
I don't know.
They waited until you left, and then they asked for the
They probably
$20.
asking now.
No.
Let me hold
My
some.
family's
Let
good.
me
They
hold
don't need to
some.
ask me for $20.
Let me hold some.
They have $20.
Let me hold some. You know how it is.
Listen.
Yeah.
All right, so let's fast forward to your time in the group. Like, well, not really the group, but like the 15. What was that like, that whole process of learning the dance routines, having to sing, you know, what was that like? And working at like, what, 4 in the morning?
Well, the first week of shooting, I was also shooting the Pepsi Super Bowl commercial with Janelle Monáe. So I only had 1 hour sleep the first week, because I was literally shooting with Kelly Rowland and Chasing Destiny, and then I would have 1 hour sleep and I'd have to go to set for the Pepsi Super Bowl commercial.
Wow.
So for me, I would come in with the girls, and they had been probably practicing all day, but I was working.
Yeah.
So I had to learn, you know, things within a couple minutes where they had, you know, the whole day. So I was like on fumes. I don't even know how I made it through the first week. I was extremely...
wild.
And people be complaining about having to work and go to school.
Exactly, exactly.
You probably still get 6 hours of sleep with that.
Yeah.
I'm being for real. You were doing an hour of sleep.
Well, an hour of sleep.
And that span was for what, a week or two?
That was my first week of filming with the show.
Wow.
So yeah, it was intense.
That's crazy. And it's so funny because Naina, one of the older co-hosts, she kept saying, I think that, you know, Ash is just like a little Janelle Monáe. And I was like, what? And so that's so crazy to find
Yeah.
out that you actually did work with her. What was
Yeah.
that experience like?
I've worked with her for 5 years. I've
what?
traveled and danced and sang with Janelle Monáe for, I mean, any show, prints and videos, and if you just look up stuff, I've been her background singer and dancer for a long time.
Yeah, because I read on the internet that, you know, first of all, you're a Spelman woman.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so there's a level to this. Okay, there's being a college woman, and then there's being a Spelman woman.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously Spelman's right there in the heart of ATL.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that how you met Janelle Monáe? Because I heard that you were working with Janelle Monáe too, but how did that all come about?
Oh, it's such a long story. When I graduated from college, I was going to work for the federal government for... won't say.
Them good benefits.
I moved to Homeland. I was hired, and I had to go through training to be a federal agent.
Yeah.
And before the classes started, I was like, this is not what I want to do. You know, I'm smart. You know, we can all go that route.
Right.
But I just believed that I had something, and it was, you know, I'm young. This is the time to try. If I fall, but I'd rather just give it a go. And I saved up some money. I came out to LA to spend some time with some mentors of mine to just get some advice. I was here for about a month, and I moved back to Atlanta, and just was like, literally, I would wake up, write music, go to sleep, just religiously. And after about a month, I got a phone call that my name had been pretty much sent to Janelle. She had heard about me, heard that I was talented, but not only talented, I just had a good spirit. And she was like, you know, I'm looking for singers and people who have good energy on the road. And her MD reached out to me, and after a couple days, I was officially hired.
That's musical director for those of you guys who are at home thinking, okay, so her doctor called. No. That's, an MD is musical director.
Yeah.
We got some folks at home, they don't be knowing. So.
Yeah, no, that's good to clarify. But
wow.
So right after that, I was on the road for 9 months straight, and ever since then, I was so fortunate and blessed to tour and travel with her. So.
That's so crazy.
I bet you have to wake up with Janelle Monáe and like pray. This is what I imagine. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you got to wake up, you got to pray, you have to center yourself, make sure your chakras are right. Shout out to Lauryn Hill.
Don't even get me started on Lauryn Hill, because listen,
shout out to Lauren. But,
I can't even with her in this whole energy not aligning with the time.
But I imagine that Janelle Monáe is the same way. She's very big on the energies. If she gets a bad sense about your energy, she probably doesn't want you around.
I mean, Janelle is cool. Like, she's cooler than I think people think. She's normal. Like, she's out of the box as an artist, but as a person, she's like us.
Fried chicken and red Kool-Aid.
Yeah, she's cool. She's from Kansas. I mean,
I like fried chicken and red Kool-Aid. I'm just trying to relate. I'm trying to find out how we relate. We might be kin.
Y'all might be.
Shout out to Janelle Monáe. Yeah. So moving on from Janelle Monáe, this Kelly Rowland woman, right?
What is she like?
Tell us about the first time Kelly Rowland, like, because everybody meets Kelly, you know, from what I've seen on the show. You're standing in front of her, you're auditioning, but did you ever have a moment where she pulled you aside and just had a one-on-one with you, said something really, like, heartfelt?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
You didn't get that?
I didn't get that.
Really?
No.
That's because she ain't caused no trouble, like some other people did. But we'll get into that later.
Oh, God.
Listen, I told you we was gonna keep it real.
No, and I you know, I'm here for it. I'm here for being honest.
We have to. You know what I'm saying? The viewers gonna see it.
Yeah.
So we gotta comment on it.
We want to know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Kelly is an elite when it comes to this business, and Frank, you know, you don't have anything but the utmost respect for them. Mm-hmm. And if something needed to be said, as sweet as she is, she was gonna say it.
Yeah.
You know, so I didn't personally have any pull to the side moments. Of course, I got good feedback, like all of us, you know, we had good advice and good pointers, but no, I never had any.
So talk to us about the elimination process. Mm-hmm. How did those days work? How did they go? Did you get a sense that it was coming?
Yeah, well, you know it's coming because it can't be 15 girls in a group.
Right.
So every day you wake up, it's like, oh, today could be the day.
Any day could be the day.
You wake up and your oatmeal's not right, and it's like, hell, I'm going
like
home.
Today might be the day I'm going to the house.
I'm going home.
You know, any day could be your day, and you can't take it personally. You know, you don't know what they're looking for. You know, they could say, you too light, you too brown, you too skinny, you too, you know, whatever. Yeah. You don't know what it is, and it's not just about vocal, you know, so you just have to trust that they have a good vision about what they want for their group. And I know that every one of the girls who I was fortunate enough to spend time with in the top 15 were extremely talented. You know.
Did you get to spend time with each individual girl, or did you have kind of like your little group that you typically were always with?
I wasn't with any particular group. Like, I was cool with everybody.
You don't seem like the clique type.
You seem like a
you vibing with
floater,
everybody.
you know what I'm saying?
No.
Who can like kind of maneuver amongst many crowds.
Absolutely. I mean, this is what we do. Like, I don't have a reason to have a negative energy.
Right.
Or to be competitive in a sense where I'm catty.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's competition, but you don't know who's gonna make
It's
it.
healthy
So it's not
competition.
worth being mean or throwing shade and all of that. I just kind of, I know who I am. I come in there and do what I'm told. And
But do you feel that's because you were on the road with Janelle
Exactly. I was
Monáe?
about to say
You probably
that.
came in like a seasoned veteran. Like, hell, I've been here before.
oh
Right.
God,
You know?
I mean, I will say that I'm forever a student, so I don't come in with the energy that there's nothing new for me to learn.
Right.
But yeah, I'm going on an hour of sleep because I'm shooting Pepsi. I don't have time.
You don't have time for the
fight.
drama.
Yeah,
I got SAG after up in here, okay? I got my union card. I got my union card, miss.
No.
Golly.
But I really did come in there with a mindset of rolling my sleeves up and learning.
You look like you were there to work.
Yeah, to learn.
You know, and I like that. I like that. And you were very, very poised the entire time.
Thank you.
So what have you got going on now? Like, tell us about what's happening now in your life since leaving the show.
Well, since leaving the show, I dropped an EP called the Please Like Me EP.
Please Like Me EP,
And
yes.
I'm sure we'll like it.
I hope so.
I'm sure we'll like it.
It charted actually on the R&B charts, the top 50.
Oh, that's
the
dope.
first 2 days of it being
That's
out.
dope.
So with me being independent, no label, no manager, that was
Right.
huge. Because Beyonce, Prince, Drake, all the people,
everybody got something
all
out
the
right
big
now.
wigs, it was like, yeah, you probably not gonna see the chart, nothing on the chart. But to make it to the top 50 was huge. So
Hell, because between the three of them, they got 47 songs.
Yo.
So look,
Prince, like
Exactly.
that was the first.
Every other
100.
song was Prince's song.
Yes.
wow.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
You should feel anointed. You should feel anointed that you shared a chart with the purple one.
I do.
I feel like I'm sitting next to greatness right here, like the
Oh,
next
You
great
are.
thing.
You are. Anybody that's working with Janelle Monáe, like
This is greatness.
That's crazy.
Thank
All right,
you.
so real quick, tell people where they can find your music, and where they can find you and keep in contact with you and stalk you and all that good stuff.
Because they will stalk.
They will.
Yeah, please stop. Please.
They will stop.
All of my social media handles are I am just Ash.
Okay.
And go to my Instagram, my Snapchat, and
You be
follow
snapping?
me.
You be on Snap?
I'm not obsessive with it, but I'm getting.
Girl, you gotta snap. The people want to know what you're doing.
I know, but I don't ever
And
want to
you're
be
doing a
like
lot.
doing the most. But
It's I am just Ash.
I am just Ash.
Okay.
Y'all
And I
follow
am
her.
just Ashy. I don't know why you guys let me.
Bye,
y'all let
Ashy.
Me, bye, Ashy. Shout out to Phaedra and Portia.
Speaking of ATL,
Right.
So listen, let's get into the episode. We had pretty much an elimination episode this week, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
it was all about analysis and decisions. I mean,
I kind of
everything.
liked it. I felt like I was a part of the process. I almost felt like I was in the room.
Yeah. And I'm glad that they allowed us to be in the room during
Yeah.
those times, because a lot of shows don't allow you to be in the room.
Right.
They just tell you, "Hey, girl, you made it. Hey, girl, go home."
Right.
To hear Frank, to hear what's his name, Mikey?
Stevie.
No, Stevie. I'm sorry, Stevie Mackey, and Kelly give those real in-depth
Yeah.
analysis.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah. What did you think about the analysis as the girls were getting called in? Were they pretty accurate about what they were saying about each of the girls? Or do you think that at a certain point that they had not really been able to see much of their personalities? Because their opinions changed, it seemed, as the girls kind of came in, or at least for one major one.
Yeah.
But
Right.
what did you think about that?
I mean, I was scared when they said to send Sky home. I was really nervous because I think, these people have way more experience than I do. But in a group, it's more than the vocal. It's about who can speak well for you, energy and character and maybe songwriting, and all of those aspects make up successful groups. Class, as they said. And I'm glad that they kept Sky. Sky is young, and all of us have room to grow, but she's hungry and she wants it, and she has a good spirit, and I can say that with confidence because I've seen her behind the scenes. And those young ladies are phenomenal. I was definitely happy that they didn't send her home.
And for those that didn't see it yet, what happened essentially was they were cutting girls, and then Sky was cut. But her demeanor and her response to being cut was still so gracious that it was just like, it blew my mind watching it.
See, that's so. I'm a sports girl, okay? So, you know, what I cover and what I know well is sports, and I love music as well. But the one thing you always hear in sports is care about team more.
Yeah.
And the second, and I always related back to the second Sky got cut, she related it back to the team. She said, I want the team to win. So whoever you put together, create the best team and get the W. And I respected that. I would want Sky to be in my music group, on my basketball team on Saturdays.
And let me tell
She
you,
could be on a football
it's so
team.
honest. You don't get fake. You know, I'm trying. It's just that's how she is, honestly.
I will say, like, a couple of episodes ago, I kind of like called her out because I was like, why is she always up in their face? Like every time, like it was in the episode.
But it's sincere.
But
That's
I
what
got
you're
the
there for.
sincerity of it this week.
Because if there was a moment for her to drop the facade
Yeah.
of
It was.
being
It was.
all, you know, I care about the team.
Yeah.
This would have been the episode. Because
Yeah.
once you got cut, you could have been like, you knew I was going home.
Right.
Exactly,
Like, you could have
exactly.
acted a fool.
Yeah.
Right.
You could have acted a fool. And she chose to be professional.
Yeah.
Did you was there anybody else that you thought might have gotten cut that didn't get cut?
No, pretty much everything they said, you know, to your point, what they were saying in the room, what Frank said in the room, what Stevie said in the room, what Kelly said, those are all things I kind of already knew. Like, for instance, they say, Candace, look, she's great, but we don't have time to cultivate her greatness to being stage ready.
Yeah.
There's a fine line between being good and then that stage ready. She has talent, but do they have time to cultivate it to a point where Elliot Reed would be impressed? Probably not. I could tell that from the jump.
Yeah.
You know, and Frank said something very interesting. He goes, great singers are great actresses. Okay. That line to me made all the sense in the world, because you got to think about it. You might have a bad day.
Yeah.
Your boyfriend might break up, whatever the hell the case is. Hell, you get cut off on the freeway. You got to come in and
show
sing
goes on.
that song.
Yeah.
The show goes on.
Yeah.
And Frank said, I need actresses. I need girls who don't get frazzled.
Yeah.
I need great actresses. And so when they were, after he said that, they were kind of analyzing every girl, and I said, oh yeah, she doesn't have the knack.
Yeah.
She can't turn it on.
What did you guys think about the girls that they kind of called out for feeling a little bit almost jaded by the industry? When you were there, did you kind of get that sense from any of the other ladies? Like, could you feel that energy? Like and I don't mean that in a bad way.
There are about three
I
of them
really
that
mean
have
that
it.
in a genuine way, because I mean, here in Hollywood, we see that.
Yeah.
We see it all the time. So did you feel that energy?
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like most people are nervous if they've been doing anything consistently and getting no's. You know, you're in a room with young girls and people who haven't left their city, and they're clawing for it in a different way than you are,
Right.
because you've kind of been around, you've seen it, you kind of know that no is usually the answer.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, some women were afraid. I mean, Alex, you know, that's my girl. All of them are my girls, but yeah, of course she's just nervous to even open up. Like, why would I open all the way up
Right.
and just get a no?
But is it nervousness, or is it just being hardened? Because to me, there are a couple of girls on there who, because they've heard no a million times, or because they've been in the industry, and then, you know, everything is great and then it falls apart.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like they were just hardened. I don't know if it was nerves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that
That's
it
how
was
I felt.
nerves too. Yeah, I that can happen. You know, that can happen.
I felt that way about Alex, actually. She's been one of my favorites consistently, mostly because I liked her music before she was on the show.
And I wasn't familiar with her.
Yeah,
you know, they're
so-
saying she was in 3 groups. I'm like, hell, I don't know. Which
Wow.
one? I didn't know.
I don't
No
know
shade
her,
to Alex.
I don't
I
know
love
her
Alex,
in a
but-
group, but I knew her as a solo artist. You know, I knew her music. And tonight, it was like, it almost felt like just the wall came tumbling down. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got to her. They got that part out of her that they needed.
It hit home.
Yeah. I felt like that tonight. Today, I usually have an issue with Kyla. I didn't really have much of an issue with her this week. Listen, I just got to ask this question because she's been a little bit of trouble most of the season. What is she like? Can you vouch? I mean, is she just out and outspoken girl? Is she just a Chicago girl? Like, not that Chicago girls are all hard, because I know a lot of them. But
What you trying to say about Chirac?
no, I'm not trying to say nothing. Like, I got some of my girls are from like Chi-Town, so
I was playing with you.
you know, I just want to know. Like, sometimes people can just kind of come across as a little bit rough. You know what I'm saying? So you know, what's the deal?
I mean, I think you can go down a list of many of us who grew up in certain cities. I grew up in Cleveland. I mean, we can all say I came from this, I came from that. I think you just have to get to a point where you realize people don't care, and you gotta, you know, just get to go to work and respect people around you, and you know, take that wall down and get humble and really see what you can learn from your counterparts. You might have the biggest voice, but this person might have better ideas or better concepts or better, harmonizing notes. And you might be so busy being caught up in your voice, that you're not hearing group members. And I think from what we've heard, she has a lot on her shoulders. Right. And I don't think she means any harm. But you just gotta learn how to learn how to communicate with others. This is the entertainment business.
And especially if you're going to be in a group.
Yeah. But it's funny, I went through every piece of analysis from Frank and Kelly and Stevie, and I tried to write down a little bit of something about each girl. They didn't have much to say about Kyla. Maybe they edited that part out, but they didn't have a ton to say.
Well, that's what I was saying. This week, she wasn't really much of a focus, whereas in other weeks, it seems like she was just like, it's like, it's always some sort of issue with her and another girl, or her and her.
I have a prediction, though. I think that through the editing, they didn't say much this week about her, because I think next week will be the straw that breaks the camel's back. I have a feeling in my soul that Kyla doesn't make it, and I think they're going to save all of that criticism for next week.
Wow.
Interesting.
I don't think they wanted to slam her this week.
Kelly wanted to cut her before in another episode, but Frank was like, let's...
Frank is such a godmother. He like, if I had a bad day, I want to call up Frank and be like, okay, so let's pray.
I'm not gonna listen. I love Frank, but I'm calling up Stevie because he just talks to you like a therapist. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He got that like Deepak Chopra voice going on. It just sounds like everything he can tell you it's a bad day, somebody died, and it just sounds like
well, good for them. Like, this
God,
is great.
They went on.
Thank you so much, God, for taking it from me. So, out of those three people, who had the most calming effect on you?
Ooh,
I would say for me it would be Frank, but
Frank.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, Kelly's such an angel. She seems
sweet. Like she's down the middle though. Like she's the midpoint between the two. Yeah. That's kind of how I
and she works hard. Like there were times where she had other obligations. She'd come in when and help us, and then run out and probably have a flight or something. But Frank was definitely with us, 24/7 in regards to.
Did she bring the baby to the set?
Yes.
You saw Titan?
He's so cute. Oh my God, he's so adorable.
Every time I see that baby, I get baby fever.
He's so cute.
And I look at my bank account and I'm like, girl, close your legs.
Get real.
Close your legs.
Listen, did you were you there at the time when was it three new girls or was it more than three? I feel like they only showed three, but I felt like there was a fourth one in there, and and then we lost her.
I think there was a fourth one there. I think she probably didn't even really stay through that whole moment. So
she missed the bus.
I don't know.
Did you get to meet them or interact with them much? Okay, yeah. In my opinion, I mean, this is just me, and I don't know what's gonna happen. Although I wish I would get some information, but I'm not getting any.
We've tried. We tried to
listen.
out of her.
I wasn't gonna say it even on air. We just wanted to know for us. You know what I'm saying?
For my own edification.
Exactly.
I just want to know who made the group.
That's what I want to know. And she is silent.
She is protecting her contract. I don't know how much money they owe you still. She's like, I ain't messing with this check.
But my thought is, at this point, with the girls that are left, for me, I kind of can see them kind of building a group around Crystal. The reason I say that, I don't necessarily know that that's going to happen, but I think that we talk about like energy, and I ain't met her in person, but just how she comes across on camera, it seems very genuine. Yeah. And it seems like she has a lot of experience that she can kind of lead and guide some of the younger girls, and she doesn't seem too like above them.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Is Crystal the one with the big hair?
She does have big hair.
The one that said I have gone to modeling agencies and got.
No, that's
that was Brianna.
Oh, Brianna. Okay.
Crystal's the one who said. Remember when they said, "I want you to mess up sometimes."
Oh yeah. Crystal. Yeah.
I kind of feel like she could be a centerpiece because I feel like she could be the maternal figure in that element.
Because like Sky, to me, Sky has it, right? She's got that star.
I want her to be in the group,
right? But sometimes when you know you the ish, and then they say you the ish, it goes to your head and then you self-destruct. Yeah. So I don't know if Sky will be able to handle it.
Ooh,
I don't know.
Really?
There are some girls where they're good, they should be in the group, but there's a whole nother level of responsibility when you find out where it's validated, where you sign the contract, you get that check. It's like, oh, I'm fresh. You can't tell me nothing. I think there are a couple of girls in this group of finalists who probably could be in a group, but you couldn't tell them you're the star.
Who do you think?
Oh, wait. I want to save that.
Who do you think?
Listen, no, we're gonna save it for predictions because I feel like we got a lot to say about that.
Okay.
real quick, so next we saw them. So we saw everybody kind of get pulled back into the room off the bus, and then next they're in the studio, in the dance studio, back to dancing. We're back to watching the cha-chas and all this good stuff. So listen, at this, what was the dancing difficult? Are you a trained dancer?
I'm not a trained dancer.
You kind of walk like a dancer.
Yeah, I mean, I dance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not trained, but.
Okay.
You're a bathroom dancer?
I'm not a bathroom dancer. I've been on stage dancing now, but
she can get down.
I know.
So listen, was that difficult for maybe not for you, but for some of the other girls?
Probably, yeah. You know, it seemed vocal based initially, so a lot of the girls were strong singers and may not have had experience dancing. You know, they're just strong vocalists.
How do you pronounce her name? Maya. Frank told her, "I need you to go home and watch some old musicals. Watch anything with movement, because I need you to learn."
Listen,
that was the shade of all. Go home and watch an old musical.
Look, couple that with the clip that they keep showing of her shimmying. Listen, I know these are your girls, so I listen.
Production is real, okay? They will edit something to have you look crazy.
That one
It's
little
so
shimmy.
real.
I kind of wish I could get that on a gift.
That's a gift. That is a
do
gift
not make
for
her
sure.
a gift.
That's the gift of the year.
Listen,
Absolutely
no,
not.
she's a beautiful girl.
She's so gorgeous.
She's a beautiful girl. But
Beautiful. Go watch an old musical.
That is wrong.
Frank said it. We did.
Yeah, Frank,
And they
you
edited.
started it, Frank.
Frank
I
got me
didn't
on
do
this train
Frank
right
started
now. Let's see. Any other great dancers that really stood out to you while you were there? Like somebody that was just phenomenal.
I mean,
Well,
Cheyenne.
Alex is-
Cheyenne's great.
Yeah.
She just knows all the new dance moves. It's like, you know, she's from Florida, I believe. It's like being in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Everybody knows all the new dance moves. Brianna is amazing. You know, like she's very trained. I'd say my experience, that was about, maybe Ambria. Ambria was cool too.
Oh, that's
so
right.
as far as dancers,
she reminded me of Dawn from Danity Kane.
she does.
yeah.
I mean, every
That
time
is
I saw
something
her, I
else
would
she
see
does.
the same person. I'm like, oh my God.
Yes.
Like, on camera, I was
Like literally this, yes.
It literally,
I see
right?
it now. I would have never thought about that.
Yeah, crazy.
Shout out to Dawn.
Yeah.
Shout out
Dawn
to
is
Dawn.
everything.
She is
And
hard
she's-
working.
Yes.
Very hard working. What else and so at this point, Kelly kind of comes back in.
With that dollar store do-rag. I said, Kelly's keeping it real.
I live.
Kelly's
Listen,
keeping it real.
Kelly
I
would
got
just
the
roll
same
up in that
do-rag.
studio like, listen, we got
Listen.
what we doing today.
It's work.
Like,
Hey,
you
she's
know,
there to work.
But you know, I do want to touch on one thing that because we kind of touched on this earlier. This episode seemed heavily dream based. Like Sky's dreaming about it, and Kelly's
was
dreaming
dreaming.
about Sky, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, like this is real intense right now. I'm kind of thinking that Sky might really be in the group. It's the way Kelly dreaming about it, but you know,
I said, no matter what happens to these young ladies, they could all get a job being a fortune teller. They could all get jobs being gypsies because they all were having these premonitions and these
oh
dreams.
my God, I forgot
and,
about.
you know, I woke up this
Yeah.
morning and I just saw Kelly in my dream. Like,
are
girl,
crazy.
I was
Stop
still
it.
trying, I'm still trying to get into Candace in the corner.
She got
fell
from the
out.
bed to the floor.
So let's get into that scene.
Like, how did they all push her to the floor and they were just on the, like, what happened?
Why was
So
she
the
in the
scene
corner?
starts out, they go back to the hotel, they're kind of going through their feelings. Candace is on the bed.
Yeah.
And then as every camera cut, she's getting closer to the ground. Next thing I know, Mama is next to this Samsonite suitcase, spooning a suitcase on the floor. And I'm like, girl, how did you get on the
Why did she just
floor,
say
miss?
Samsonite?
It was a
So
Samsonite,
done.
wasn't it?
I'm done.
Was
I
it
don't
Toomey?
know. I don't.
Hold on.
Stop.
I know it
I don't
wasn't
think it was
Louis.
Toomey.
I know it wasn't Louis, but there was a suitcase on the ground that she started to spoon and caress. And I'm like, girl, how did you get on? But everybody just followed her
Yeah, they
slowly to
did.
the floor and caressed her back and let her know it was going to be okay and got her a warm rag.
I just want to let you know that I quit life right now.
Right.
I
Like, I'm so done. I don't even know how to react.
You're not a quitter. You're not a quitter. Candace is not a quitter. Candace said, I'm going to go take dance classes.
Yep.
I'm going to go work on my vocals.
But this is why I had to bring up that moment for that.
I was confused. I was terribly confused as to how she got to the floor.
Okay.
I've been sitting here for 30 minutes. I'm not by the couch. Candace,
Help somebody. Help us. Save
Shout out
us
to
from
Candace, wherever you are, wherever you're
Yes.
seating right now. It's just, what's
Hi,
up,
girl.
Candace? Hit us up. We want to hear from you too. Come
Yes.
on now.
look,
we know
send
you
us
watch
a Snapchat standing up.
Okay. And sing while you at it.
Candace is everything.
So let's get into the part where Kelly's like, I know who I want to be in the group.
Yeah, but I feel like she woke up, had her oatmeal that was prepared the right way with the nuts and the berries, and then got in the Aston, drove down to go see Frank, and just pulled him to the side and was like, so here's the deal.
This is the deal.
Like, stop the rehearsal. I already know. It felt like that to me. It didn't seem like there was a lead up or anything. It was just like everything aligned for Kelly that day, and she had to go find Frank.
You know, when she was in her confessional, I felt like that too.
Yeah, it was like she couldn't explain it.
Yeah.
She just knew.
Yeah.
She just knew.
Hey.
I think Titan told her. So I'm trying to figure out what do you think at that point she had known? Because it seems like this has been 5 weeks now that they've been there.
Yeah.
What do you think she kind of maybe saw or experienced that gave her this like epiphany, like aha? Or do you think she knew really kind of before that?
Or was it budget? She was like, we done went 6 episodes. Like, we don't know by now. We got to cut it. BT gave me 8 episodes. Like, I got to figure this out by episode 6.
Right.
No, but that's a great question. Like, what do you think?
I think, it just comes down to energy, talent. I don't know what she was, the specifics on what they're looking for. So I can't really answer that question. But after 5 weeks with girls, you kind of have an idea of what would make sense for what you're looking for.
Okay.
And
Did you ever have that moment where you're like, okay, that's it? Like, if I were an executive, I know who I would pick. Plus me.
Ooh.
Gosh, that's a hard question to answer.
Because I'm sure at one point you're like, I know I could be with them. And then you would say, I'm taking myself out of it, and I know who would make a good group without
absolutely.
me.
You do. You, especially with the girls being behind the scenes with each other, you definitely have a sense of like who would make good group members.
And particularly you, because you've had experience on the road, so you kind of know the rigors of like everything that would go down and the type of personality that you have to have.
Yeah, your work ethic has to be strong. Like, you have to wake up early, you have to eat right, exercise. Like, Janelle can't be like, hey, are you healthy? Can you say, you have to be ready. And you hope that, I'm sure at this point the girls are at a certain point where they understand that, but it's definitely more than just singing. You have to have that.
Did you see any slackers while you were there? Just like,
be real.
Girl, why you sleep?
Be real. Be real.
I wasn't.
You ain't gotta
I was
call them
busy.
out.
I mean,
somebody hit the snooze
She
button.
said I was busy doing commercials.
No.
Just my
start with a K.
first week. No, but I mean, I think that it's fair to say that some people didn't come there with experience, so they won't know until they get into the process. I don't think it's worth like saying anyone was slacking as much as it was. Some people were not as informed, and so they just have to learn.
I just want to
as they
say,
go.
I love your responses. I love your energy and your attitude.
She's so professional.
She's
but I'm gonna call the BS.
Okay.
So look, there's a saying: when in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Right.
Okay. When you're around people who are experienced, they know that you have experience. Or other young ladies.
Right.
If you don't know, follow your lead. I'm amazed that they wouldn't follow the lead of people who had experience.
They knew that you were doing that as well, right?
Kind of, like I said, I didn't.
Were you able to say that?
Yeah, well, the producers knew. Like, I had, obligations, and
but
I was
the other girls.
Yeah, I think they found out.
Oh, okay.
But I never went into this room like I'm doing this. Like, nobody
you guys
cares.
didn't get a bio sheet.
Right.
I mean,
like, oh, she's an AKA. She went to school.
I mean, the producers know, but it's up to you to I guess speak out your resume, and I just wasn't. Like, we're all here doing the same thing. Who cares that I have some experience? Like, we're all in the same boat, so I never.
Did you tell anybody though?
Yeah, I mean, after they were like, "Why are you like?
Why she never here?"
Yeah, like how do So then, of course,
I would've been
at
like
that
Why
point,
she out here?
Yeah,
They'd be like, she always swipe her debit card and don't even look.
No, oh my gosh, no. But yeah, I had eventually paid my.
That's because she's got real money.
Y'all
Trump checks.
You guys got chump checks. You still get a student loan refund.
I'm rich. What's Mimi say? No, I'm not rich.
I'm very rich.
I'm very rich.
Getting them.
No.
What's her company? Wonderland.
Wonderland.
I'm getting them Wonderland checks.
Wonderland. Oh God, no.
Wait.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, darling.
I'm really trying to keep myself together sitting next to her.
Listen.
It's hard. I'm just one of those people when I'm watching these shows, I'm calling BS on a lot of stuff.
And that's why I like.
Call it. Listen.
I just have to call it.
That's
so
what
is it you think? Like, what are your innermost thoughts? Then?
Well, here's my thing about Alex. I've been wanting to say this about Alex, and I have a lot of respect for Alex.
I love you, Alex.
She loves you, and
I do
honestly,
too, Alex.
and honest to goodness, I love Alex too. But I keep hearing she's been in 3 girl groups. She's been in 3 girl groups. She's had a solo act, which I didn't know about. I found out today. If you've had all these chances, there's a thing called the common denominator. Sometimes it can be you that's creating the issue. And so for me, I don't know who's going to get picked next week, and you do, but you ain't going to tell nobody. And that's fine.
I'm still mad.
Look, you've got to check to protect.
An additional check.
An additional check, to protect. I get it.
This is coming out of her mouth.
Stephen Hill and BET,
No,
she doesn't want to mess up her check.
Anything about like that.
Kelly, she don't look. But I just feel like Alex, as great as she is, there's something about Alex that I wouldn't want to put her in my group.
What is it?
Sometimes I don't feel like Alex is genuine. When I hear her speak, I don't hear it come from a place of sincerity. And I also just hearing these stats. I'm a sports girl.
Right.
If you're batting, 200 out of 1,000, that's a problem. That's you. You're missing the ball.
And you know what though? What you're saying is very valid because
Maybe you're just not
as an outside, as a judge,
because I'm
and
not
someone who's putting together a
singer.
group. It's that's all you see.
But I'm looking at the stats. You keep getting these opportunities. You keep getting an at bat. You keep getting a shot at the basket. And you keep missing. Well, maybe it's you.
Well, you know what?
And if I were an executive, I'd be like, I can't risk it. Mama could go out on her own.
I feel in my spirit
I
that
tweet her
she
album.
might make the group. This is just me. But since we already there, let's get into some predictions. Let's do that. I want to talk about that.
What just went through my
Your
headphones?
AfterBuzz TV
The disco lights.
predictions.
Ow.
Work.
All right, so listen. Let's talk predictions. What are you thinking? What are you thinking is going to happen next week? Who do you think is going to make the group? I want to know everything.
I think Sky makes the group for sure.
Okay.
But I think this episode, they had to break her. They had to make sure she understands you can be replaced. Look, we only work with the best.
Right, exactly.
I think they had to break her a little bit, but she's gonna be in the group. I call Sky for sure. I put my next paycheck on it, and I need a new weave. So I'm very
Great.
confident.
Oh my
I'm getting
God.
my hair done on Sunday, and I'm putting my paycheck on Sky. That's how confident I am in you, Sky. I'm risking my hair money.
Hey, Sky.
Hey, Sky.
You coming back next week, right?
Depends on if I get my hair done.
Okay.
Sky, you better make the group.
Okay, who else? Who else you thinking? Who would you like
The young lady, I think her name is Gabby. She's from Glendale.
Yes, Gabby.
Gabby.
Gabby is so good. Her voice is so great, but I think she gets cut. I think Gabby goes home.
Why do you think Gabby goes
Because
home?
Gabby said something to me that made me think she doesn't get it. I would never have mouthed this on national TV. She goes, well, I've got a life back home. Do you, girl? You've got a boyfriend and rent. That's not life. Trust me. You ain't got a husband and a paid-off house. You've got a boyfriend and rent. That's not a life.
It did kind
And
of come off like I've got it all.
Yes, it's like I've
wow.
made it. It's like, girl, no, we all have bills around here.
Yeah,
That
hey,
is
we
not
all
life.
working. Listen.
That is existing.
Yeah.
But ask Tamar, if it ain't about that coin, if you ain't got that real long
That's
coin,
real.
you're really not living. And for me, if you don't get that, you don't need to be in this group. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to business.
Yes.
And I don't think girlfriend understands business.
Okay. That's
So
fair.
I think Gabby goes home.
That's
I think
fair.
Sky stays. I think that Crystal, to your point, I think she stays. I don't agree with it, but
You don't agree
You
with
don't
what?
agree with that?
No, tell me why you don't agree with that.
Tell me.
I don't feel it. I don't feel it. I'm like Kelly. Like I wake up and I have my oatmeal and I'm like, no, Crystal,
You
Crystal,
just weren't
no.
feeling it today.
I just wasn't feeling it.
Why don't you feel it for her?
Because I don't feel her. I haven't had a moment where I connected with her, where she said something where I'm like, oh. Because the music business now is like, if you can relate to them, Drake. I mean, he's crying on every damn song. We relate. We all cry. We all have emotions.
Yeah.
We're like Drake. I haven't had that moment with Crystal where I'm like, oh, I feel you, girl. Me and you, we can. I haven't had that.
But you
And maybe
think she-
somebody else has, but I get the business side of it, and I get why she'd be in the group.
Okay, so anybody else?
Kind of looking at my list, I think Maya goes home. Obviously, we know Candace goes home. Ashley makes the group. And I think Ashley makes the group because she's so strong vocally. And she's one of those hardened ones where she's like, I'm 19 or 20. I'm grown. I've been in the business. But that voice, you can't deny it.
Yeah,
and
you
at the
can't
end
deny it.
at the end of the day, you need that big mama vocal. and she's got that big mama vocal. Not saying she's big.
No,
Honey,
I get what you're saying.
There's no size zero over here.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. I'm canceling out people as you kind of make those assessments. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see who else. I wouldn't put Alex in the group, but it seems like everybody stands for Alex. So
I do. I'm sorry. I go hard.
Listen, he was my cheerleading squad. Okay.
I was all through the time she was there. I was like, she needs to be in the group.
Yeah.
Who did I miss?
Bree.
Oh.
Bree's
If you forgot about it, then she probably.
But you know what? I didn't forget about her because who can forget that hair?
Who can forget the hair?
And who can forget the hair? But today, she had a moment that related with me.
Yeah.
Not so much with me, but just the Hollywood life. You hear this all the time. I've been told no so many times.
Yeah.
You know, and I've gone to every agency. I've gone to every music producer.
Yeah.
That's everybody.
That's everybody.
But she let her guard down a little bit,
Yeah.
and that story stuck with me.
You have to respect that. Yeah.
I think she has a great look. I don't know about her vocals, but I think she has a really unique look. Can she sing down, in your opinion?
Yes, but I haven't heard that same vocal since her audition, and she did Stay with Rihanna, and they literally let her sing the entire song.
Yeah. Hell, if you let me warm up, I could.
Yeah.
All right, so listen, this is who I'm in my head.
I want to know who you're thinking.
Crystal.
Okay.
Yes.
Like I said, I could see it.
Sky.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Alex. I don't know why I'm gonna say that because I feel like, to be very fair, and what you said is true, a lot of the season she hasn't really given much, right? But I almost feel like because they have known her, almost like that she's always been in the group in my head.
If Alex makes this group, honey, we'll be seeing them on TV1's Unsung.
Stop.
Oh, you just put an arrow in my heart.
And I'm not saying that to be shady. I'm not saying that to be shady. There's something about Alex.
You don't feel like she's authentic.
I'm just a big common denominator. Halle Berry is beautiful. Halle Berry's been divorced, what, 3-4 times? Baby girl, maybe it's you. Yeah. Maybe it's you. And it's not that I don't like Alex. I just play the numbers. I'm a numbers girl. Moneyball.
We didn't talk about my other least favorite, which is Kyla. No, I don't. Listen, hold on. She's not my least favorite in terms of singers. I think she's amazing.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
She's my least favorite in terms of what has been given to us on camera. I'll say that. I think that's fair, right?
She got into it with the young girl, right?
Yeah, she did.
Which both of them are wrong.
Right.
Because if you're young, respect your elders.
I'm gonna say Crystal, Sky. I want to say Cheyenne.
That's the young one, right?
Mm-hmm. And then to kind of give them some bottom on the vocals, I'm gonna say Ashley.
Because you need, because look, Boys to Men had Michael. Yeah, Michael didn't ever sing like, you know, the regular notes. He just brought it down low. Wasn't it Michael with the low voice?
I'm gonna say Gabby. I think she should be in Starbucks.
You mean
as
you
a
get singer-songwriter. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like she should be with a guitar or something like that.
I was gonna say REI. The outdoor store.
And you know what though? So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up until next time. We have given you predictions. This is AfterBuzz TV.
My God.
You will never get anything like this anyplace else. So make sure you guys stay tuned into us. I'm one of your hosts, DJ Richie Scott. Who else we got here?
And as usual, it's your girl McCall Hall with Sports and Pop Culture Collide. You can find me at McCall Hall.
And I'm Ash. You can find me at I Am Just Ash on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. It was so good being here.
Awesome. Yes. And thank you for coming and sharing with us.
Yes.
I'm DJ Richie Sky at DJ Richie Sky on Instagram and Twitter, and you can follow me on the Snap at Richie Sky. This has been AfterBuzz TV. Make sure you guys comment, share it, like it.
Yes.
All that. Tune in next week. We'll see you next time.
Adios.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.